Science has always asked how long a human can last without sleep. But in the late 1940s, Soviet researchers allegedly found the answer. And the result wasn't just madness, it was pure evil. Welcome to the terrifying tale of the orange gas. What you are about to hear tests the very limits of human sanity. We are unlocking the classified files on the most disturbing test in history. Turn off the lights. This is the Russian sleep experiment. July 16th, 1947. The war is over, but the world is not at peace. The Nazis have fallen, but a new chill has settled over Europe. The Iron Curtain is descending. In the West, they're building bombs. But here, deep in the frozen heart of the Soviet Union, we are building something else. We are not looking to destroy the body. We are looking to conquer the mind. Facility 9, a research bunker buried 300 feet beneath the permafrost, 60 miles north of Murmansk. It does not exist on any map. It does not exist in any budget. Dr. Viktor Aronov stands by the window of his office, staring at his reflection in the dark glass. He is tired. He hasn't slept properly in weeks. The irony is not lost on him. Behind him, the door closes. General Vlasov has arrived. General Vlasov said, "You look pale, doctor. Are you not eating the rations provided by the state?" Dr. Aronov answered, "I am fine, General. Just reviewing the data. The toxicity reports from the animal trials are concerning." General Vlasov replied, "Concern is a luxury, doctor. Results are a necessity. The Americans are working on jet engines. They're working on atom splitters. Do you know what our greatest weakness is? Sleep. 1/3 of a soldier's life is wasted in a coma. Imagine, doctor, an army that never tires. An army that can march for weeks without stopping. An army that can fight while the enemy is dreaming. That is what the Kremlin wants. That is what you will give us." Dr. Aronov looks down at the file on his desk. Stamped in red ink, Project Nikolayev. It is a gas, an experimental stimulant. In the lab, they called it the orange mist. They had tested it on chimps. The results were effective. The chimps didn't sleep. But after 5 days, they started to change. They stopped grooming. They stopped eating. They just stared. Dr. Aronov said, "General, the gas acts on the nervous system in ways we don't fully understand. The aggression levels in the primates increased by 400%. If we expose human subjects to this, we cannot guarantee their safety." Hearing this, General Vlasov laughed and said, "Safety? You think I brought you volunteers from the ballet? Come with me." They descend to the containment level. The air here smells different. Sterile, ozone, and bleach. They walk down a long corridor lined with guards. At the end, there's a holding cell. Inside, 5 men sit on a bench. They are ragged, thin. Their heads are shaved. They wear the gray uniforms of the Gulag. These are not common criminals. These are enemies of the state. A political dissident who wrote the wrong poem. A captured German officer who knows he will never see Berlin again. A journalist who asked too many questions. A thief who stole from a party member. And a man who has not spoken a word since he was arrested. They call him the Mute. General Vlasov steps into the cell. The men look up. Fear. Resignation. Vlasov smiles. It is the smile of a wolf looking at sheep. General Vlasov said, "Gentlemen, today is your lucky day. The motherland is offering you a chance at redemption. A chance for freedom." The journalist speaks up. His voice is cracked. "Freedom? There is no freedom here." General Vlasov smiled and said, "There is. A simple test. We are testing a new air filtration system. All you have to do is stay in a comfortable room. You will have food. You will have books. You will have running water and a toilet. You just have to stay awake. 30 days. If you can stay awake for 30 days, we will open the door and you will walk out of this facility. Your records will be expunged. You will be free men." Dr. Aronov watches from the doorway. He knows it is a lie. Even if they survive the gas, they will never leave this facility alive. They are lab rats. But the prisoners, they see a glimmer of hope. 30 days? It sounds hard. But for freedom? For a life back in the sun? They look at each other. They nod. The chamber. It is a sealed environment. 5 cots. No bedding, just canvas. A table with chairs. Shelves filled with books, classics, history, propaganda. And in the center, the vents. There are no windows to the outside world. Only 5-inch thick glass portholes looking into the observation room where the researchers will sit. And microphones. Everywhere. The 5 men enter. They look around. It is better than the gulag. It is warm. There is dried meat on the table. The German officer takes a book from the shelf. He looks relieved. Subject 1. Subject 2. Subject 3. Subject 4. Subject 5. They are no longer men. They are numbers. Dr. Aronov said over the intercom, "Gentlemen, the experiment will begin now. Do not cover the microphones. Do not obstruct the cameras. We will be monitoring your vitals remotely. Good luck." The seal is airtight. They're cut off from the world. Dr. Aronov stands at the control panel. His hand hovers over a red lever. He hesitates. He looks at the men through the thick glass. They are sitting at the table, talking, introducing themselves. They look human. General Vlasov ordered the doctor, "Do it, doctor." Inside the chamber, a faint hiss begins. From the vents, a colorless, odorless gas begins to flow. It mixes with the oxygen. Nikolayev gas. The men don't smell it. They don't taste it. But within seconds, the chemistry in their brains begins to shift. Dopamine, adrenaline, norepinephrine. The switch that tells the brain to sleep is taped over. The German officer laughs at a joke the journalist made. It's a loud, hearty laugh. The experiment has begun. The clock starts ticking. Day 1. Hour 1. They have no idea that they have just entered a tomb. The door is sealed. The bolts are thrown. For the first hour, there is silence. Not the silence of peace, but the silence of animals in a cage waiting to see which one bites first. The room is stark. 5 cots with bare mattresses. A table bolted to the floor. A toilet in the corner, offering zero privacy. And the books. Shelves lined with heavy, leather-bound volumes. Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, Marx, and strangely, books on anatomy. Surgical texts. A grim joke by the researchers. Subject 1 breaks the silence. His name is Alexei. He was a professor of literature before he was arrested for anti-Soviet agitation. He is older, gaunt. Intelligence burns in his eyes. Alexei said, 30 days. It is not so long. I spent 40 days in solitary in Lubyanka. This is a hotel compared to that. Subject 4 snorts. He is sitting on the floor, picking at his fingernails. His name is Vasily, a thief from Odessa. He has gold teeth and tattoos that tell the story of a life spent in prison. Vasily, mocking and aggressively, said, "A hotel? Look at the glass, professor. Look at the mirrors." He points to the observation window. They're watching us. Like fish in a bowl. You think they will let us go? The state does not give gifts. Subject 2 steps between them. Lucas, a former captain in the Wehrmacht, captured at Stalingrad. He survived the freezing cold, starvation, and forced labor. He is made of iron. Lucas said, "It does not matter what they give. It matters what we take. We have food. We have water. If the mission is to stay awake, we stay awake. We survive. That is all." Over by the sink stands Subject 3. Dmitri, the journalist. He is the youngest. He is shaking. He wasn't built for the gulag. He was built for newsrooms and cafes. He splashes cold water on his face, trying to wash away the fear. Dmitri asked nervously, "What about the gas? Can you smell it?" They said they were testing filters, but the air feels thick. They all stop. They sniff the air. Nothing. No scent of sulfur. No chemical burn. But there is something. A static charge on the skin. A subtle vibration in the teeth. The Nikolayev gas is heavy. It sinks to the floor before rising. It is filling the room from the bottom up. And then there is Subject 5, the mute. He sits on his cot, legs crossed, staring at the wall. He hasn't moved since they entered. He hasn't looked at the others. He is a void. Day 1. Nightfall. Or what will be nightfall? There are no windows. The electric lights hum overhead, unblinking. They will never turn off. The gas begins to take hold. Usually, after being awake for 18 hours, the body begins to crave rest. The eyelids get heavy. The thoughts get fuzzy. But here, the opposite happens. Alexei feels it first. A clarity, a sharpness. He feels like he just drank 10 cups of strong coffee. His mind is racing. He remembers poems he hasn't read in 20 years. Alexei said, "It is remarkable. Do you feel it? The fog, it is gone. My mind is clear." Vasily laughs and energetically said, "I feel like I could run a marathon or fight a bear. Hey, German, you want to arm wrestle?" The mood shifts. The fear evaporates, replaced by a synthetic euphoria. The gas is flooding their receptors with dopamine. They pull the chairs together. They sit around the table. They start to talk. And this is what the scientists wanted. Through the microphones, the reel-to-reel tapes are spinning, recording everything. They share their stories. Lucas talks about his family in Munich, the daughter he hasn't seen in 6 years. Vasily tells stories of the Odessa underground, heists that went wrong, the women he loved. Dmitri talks about the article that got him arrested, exposing corruption in the grain supply. They bond. They are comrades in this strange, bright purgatory. "We will make it," Dmitri says, smiling. 30 days. We will walk out of here together. Subject 5. The mute. He stands up. The others go quiet. They watch him. He walks to the center of the room. He looks at the mirror, at the scientist hidden behind the glass. He smiles. It is not a happy smile. It is a knowing smile. He walks to the bookshelf, picks up a book on anatomy, and returns to his cot. He opens it to a diagram of the human nervous system, and he begins to tear the page out. Slowly, Lucas asked, "What are you doing, friend?" The mute does not answer. He crumbles the page into a ball and eats it, chews it, swallows it. Then he turns the page and tears another. The others look away, unsettled. The euphoria is still there, but a cold draft has entered the room. Hour 24 approaches. By habit, they lay down on their cots. They try to close their eyes, but the eyelids fly open. The brain refuses to shut down. There is no drift, no dream state, only the bright, white light and the hissing of the vents. Dmitri whispered, I can't close my eyes. It feels like they are taped open." Alexei said to Dmitri, "Don't fight it, Dmitri. Use the time. Read. Think. We have been given a gift. We have cheated death's little brother." Alexei was wrong. Sleep is not death's brother. Sleep is the wall that keeps the monsters out. And they have just torn the wall down. Day 2 begins, and the gas concentration is increasing. Day 3. 72 hours without sleep. In the outside world, 3 days without sleep leads to hallucinations, irritability, cognitive failure. But inside the chamber, it is a party. The gas is peaking. The subjects are operating at 150% capacity. They are manic. They're pacing the room like tigers. Back and forth. Back and forth. Vasily is doing push-ups. 100. 200. He isn't sweating. Lucas and Alexei are debating philosophy. Their words are coming out fast, stumbling over each other. Alexei said, "If God created man in his image, then God must also require sleep. But if God sleeps, who watches the universe? Therefore, sleep is a flaw, a defect in the design." Lucas said, "Or perhaps sleep is the only place where we are truly free. And by taking it away, they have made us prisoners in our own skulls." In the observation room, Dr. Aronov is watching the monitors. His heart rate is elevated. This shouldn't be happening. Their blood pressure is through the roof. Their cortisol levels are lethal. But they are smiling. The intercom buzzes. Dr. Aronov said through the intercom, "Subjects, report status. Do you require medical assistance?" The prisoners stop. They look at the speaker on the wall. Dmitri, the journalist, walks up to it. His eyes are wide, pupils dilated to black saucers. Dmitri replied, "We are fine, doctor. We are wonderful. The air, it tastes like cinnamon. Can you turn up? We want more. We want more." The addiction has set in. The gas has rewritten their survival instincts. They don't want food. They barely drink water. They just breathe deep, hungry gulps of the orange-tinted air. But beneath the laughter, the cracks are forming. It starts with the stories. On day 1, they shared their hopes, their families. On day 3, the nostalgia turns rotten. They are sitting around the table again. But the camaraderie is gone. Now they are competing to see who has suffered more. Vasily said, "You think the war was hard, German? In Odessa, I watched my brother starve. I watched him eat leather from his boots. When he died, I didn't cry. I took the boots." He laughs, but it's devoid of humor. "I took the boots." Lucas said coldly, "I burned a village in Belarus. We were ordered to. The women, they didn't scream. They just stared. I see their eyes when I blink. But I can't blink anymore." The air in the room grows heavy. The secrets are spilling out like black tar. They aren't confessing to unburden themselves. They are confessing to hurt themselves, to feel something other than the electric buzz of the gas. And in the corner, Subject 5 watches. The mute. He hasn't slept. He hasn't eaten. He hasn't spoken. But he has stopped reading. Now, he is watching events. He is watching the gas pour in, and he is nodding, as if listening to a song no one else can hear. Alexei is sitting on his cot. He is scratching his arm, absent-mindedly at first. Just an itch. But he doesn't stop. He scratches until the skin turns red, then raw. He is staring at the wall, murmuring. Alexei whispered, "The walls are breathing. Do you see it? In and out. In and out." Dmitri shouted, "Stop it, old man. The walls are concrete." Alexei said, "No, they are skin. We're inside a belly, and we are being digested." Paranoia, the first symptom of the crash. The euphoria is wearing off, leaving behind a raw, exposed nerve. The brain, deprived of the cleaning process of sleep, is beginning to poison itself. The toxins are building up. In the observation booth, General Vlasov is pleased. General Vlasov said, "Excellent. The aggression is surfacing. They are shedding their humanity." Dr. Aronov said, "General, look at their eyes. They aren't blinking. The corneas are going to dry out. We need to introduce humidity." General Vlasov said, "No intervention. Let them break." In the chamber, Vasily has knocked over a chair. He stands over Lucas. "You are judging me," Vasily spits. "I can hear your thoughts, Nazi. You think you are better than me because you followed orders?" Lucas said to Vasily, "Sit down, thief. I'm not thinking about you. I am thinking about the door." Vasily, raged with anger, said, "Liar. You are whispering to the microphones. You are telling them my secrets." It begins. The turning. The group is fracturing. The shared trauma is no longer a bond. It is a weapon. They retreat to their corners. They turn their backs to each other. They start whispering into their lapels, whispering to the microphones, whispering voices panning left and right, overlapping. He is hiding food. He is a spy. The gas tells me he must die. They think if they betray the others, the scientists will reward them. They think if they give up the others, they will be the ones set free. Day 3 ends not with laughter, but with suspicion. And as the lights hum on into day 4, the shadows in the corners of the room begin to detach themselves from the wall. The hallucinations are here, and they are hungry. Day 5, 120 hours. The human mind is a fragile machine. It relies on the reset button of sleep to file away memories, to process emotions, to clean out the waste. Without that reset, the file cabinet tips over. Past, present, and future collide. Reality and nightmare merge. The chamber smells different now. It smells of sweat, unwashed bodies, and something else. Copper, blood. Alexei, the professor, has scratched through the skin on his left forearm. He isn't looking at it. He is looking at the book in front of him. But he isn't reading. He is rewriting. He has a pencil. He is furiously scribbling in the margins of War and Peace. Alexei muttered rapidly, "The words are wrong. They changed the words. Tolstoy didn't write this. The gas wrote this. The gas is in the ink." He believes the book is sending him coded messages. Across the room, Dmitri the journalist is cowering under his cot. He has pulled the canvas sheet over his head. He is hiding from the lights. Dmitri whimpered, "Turn it off, please. The sun is too loud." The sun is screaming. Synesthesia. His senses are crossing. He hears the light. He tastes the sound. The ventilation fans sound like a choir of weeping children. The taste of the water is like battery acid. But the most terrifying change is in Subject 5, the mute. He is standing in the center of the room. He is swaying, back and forth, like a pendulum. His eyes are locked on the observation glass, locked on Dr. Aronov. Aronov flinches. He feels like the mute can see him through the mirrored glass. He knows. Aronov whispers to his assistant. He knows we are here. General Vlasov said. Of course he knows. Look at him. He is adapting. Lucas, the German, is the only one still trying to maintain order. He is pacing the perimeter, marching. Left, right. He is trying to keep the discipline. But his shadow is misbehaving. Lucas stops. He looks at his shadow on the wall. It didn't stop when he did. It took another step. Lucas blinks. No, he tries to blink. His eyelids are stiff, dry like parchment. He rubs his eyes. Who is there? He barks. There is no one. Just the other 4 wrecks of men. But Lucas hears whispering. Not from the microphones. From the corners. A voice in German whispered. They left you to die, Lucas. Your family is dead. The gas is your only friend. Lucas shouted. Shut up. Show yourself. Vasily, from the floor, laughing hysterically, said, You hear them too, Nazi? The little people? They live in events. They tell good jokes. Vasily has torn his shirt off. He is shivering despite the heat. I have to get it out, he mumbles. I have to get the cold out. He is picking at his chest, digging for something that isn't there. Then, the microphones pick up a sound. It is faint at first. A humming. It is coming from the mute. Subject 5 opens his mouth. He hasn't spoken in 5 days. He hasn't made a sound. But now a noise comes out that doesn't sound human. It sounds like a cello played with a saw. He is harmonizing with the hum of the ventilation system. The other prisoners stop what they are doing. They turn to look at him. They are mesmerized. The sound seems to vibrate in their bones. Alexei whispered. He is singing to the machine. He is calling the master. In the observation room, the audio engineer rips his headphones off. It's feedback, he yells. It's hurting my ears. No, Aronov says, staring at the monitors. It's not feedback. Look at the EEG. The brainwave monitors for all 5 subjects are syncing up. Usually brainwaves are chaotic, individual. But now, they are moving in unison. 5 minds. 1 signal. The hive mind is forming. Suddenly, the mute stops. Silence slams back into the room. He looks at the camera, and for the first time, he speaks. Subject 5 said, We are awake. It wasn't a statement of fact. It was a threat. Vasily starts clapping. Slowly. Then Dmitri joins in. Then Alexei. They're all clapping. Rhythmically. Staring at the glass. Clap. 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 They aren't clapping for a performance. They're counting down. General Vlasov asked Dr. Aronov, What are they doing? Dr. Aronov replied, I don't know. But look at Subject 3. Look at the journalist. Dmitri stops clapping. He stands up. He walks to the wall. He places his forehead against the rough concrete. And he starts to run. Not away from something, but in place. Running against the wall. Rubbing his skin against the stone. Harder. Harder. He's trying to run through the wall. I have to go, he screams. I have to tell the world. He is tearing the skin off his forehead. Blood starts to streak down the gray concrete. But he doesn't stop. He speeds up. Dmitri starts screaming. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. The screaming begins. And it isn't going to stop. Day 9 is coming. And with it, the vocal cords will snap. Day 9. For the last 4 days, the chamber has been a pressure cooker. The whispering stopped. The paranoia stopped. And the screaming began. It is Subject 3. Dmitri, the journalist. He has been running for 3 hours. Back and forth across the small room. He isn't running from the others. He is running from something inside his own head. He is screaming at the top of his lungs. They are on the walls. They are eating the light. His voice is hoarse. He is spitting blood. But he doesn't stop. He runs past Lucas. He runs past Vasily. They don't even look up. They are sitting on their cots, ripping pages out of books. But they aren't reading them. They are defecating on the pages. And then pasting them to the glass portholes. Layer by layer. Covering the view. Blocking the scientists out. In the observation room, Dr. Aronov is frantic. They are obscuring the visuals. We are losing sight of subjects 1, 2, and 5. General Vlasov watches impassively. Let them hide, Vlasov says. We can still hear them, but they can only hear one thing. Dmitri scream. Suddenly, the scream changes. It goes from a shriek to a squeal, and then silence. Dmitri stops running. He falls to his knees in the center of the room. He clutches his throat. He opens his mouth to scream again, but only a hiss of air comes out. He has screamed so hard for so long that he has physically torn his vocal cords. They have snapped like old rubber bands. He is mute, but he isn't in pain. He looks at his hands. He looks at the others, and he starts to laugh. A silent, wheezing laugh. Shake, shake, shake. He is delighted. Now that the noise has stopped, the microphones pick up other sounds. Subtle sounds. Subject 4, Vasily the Thief. He is sitting on the floor. He has found a loose screw on the leg of the table. He hasn't used it to unscrew the table. He is using it on himself. Vasily whispered to himself, "Too much skin. It's too tight. The gas needs room to breathe." He is peeling the skin off his fingertips. Spiral strips. Like apple peels. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't bleed. Not really. The blood is thick, dark, coagulated. The gas has changed his biology. He looks at the muscle underneath. The red meat. Beautiful, he whispers. Alexei paced the final page of the Brothers Karamazov over the last clear spot on the observation window. The scientists are now blind. The visual feed is black. Only the audio remains. Dr. Aronov said into the microphone, "Turn on the infrared. Switch to the backup cameras." The technician fumbles with the dials. "Sir, the backup cameras, they destroyed them hours ago. We didn't notice because of the screaming." General Vlasov ordered to open the door. Dr. Aronov said, "What? No, we can't break the seal. The gas concentration is critical. If we open it, we ruin the data." General Vlasov said, "I need to know if they are alive, doctor. Send a maintenance crew to check the oxygen sensors. If they are dead, the experiment is a failure." But they aren't dead. The oxygen sensors tell a different story. The oxygen consumption in the room is skyrocketing. 5 men are in there, but they are consuming enough oxygen for 10 men exercising at peak intensity. They aren't sleeping. They aren't resting. They are doing something heavy, something violent. Through the microphones, Aronov hears it. Chewing. Not the chewing of dry rations. Not the crunch of biscuits. Wet, sloppy chewing. And snapping. Like ribs breaking. Dr. Aronov asked, "They are eating the food supplies?" The technician checks the sensors. "Sir, the food dispenser hasn't been touched in 4 days." Silence falls over the observation room. If they haven't touched the food, what are they eating? Inside the chamber, the darkness is absolute. But the subjects don't need light anymore. They have evolved. The man who was once Lucas, the German officer, stands over the man who was once Dmitri, the journalist. Dmitri is smiling. He's offering his arm. And Lucas is accepting the invitation. The sound of the tearing of flesh can be heard. And it's louder this time. Day 9 ends. The transition is complete. They're no longer prisoners. They are a pack. And the feast has begun. Day 13. For 3 days, there has been no sound from the chamber. No screaming. No talking. No tearing of paper. Just nothing. The microphones are cranked to maximum gain. The speakers in the observation room are hissing with static. Dr. Aronov sits at the console, eyes red-rimmed, staring at the blacked-out glass. He is terrified, not of the noise, but of the quiet. Dr. Aronov whispered, "Are they dead? They must be dead." A technician answered, "Oxygen levels indicate they are alive, doctor. In fact, look." He taps a gauge. The consumption has spiked again. Whatever they're doing in there, it requires immense physical effort. General Vlasov paces behind them. He is losing patience. The Kremlin is calling. They want results. They want the super soldier serum. Instead, they have a silent box of monsters. General Vlasov said, "I am tired of this guessing game. If the microphones are broken, we go in. If they are dead, we clear the bodies and start with a new batch." Dr. Aronov said, "General, wait. Let me try the intercom one last time. We have to provoke a response." Dr. Aronov's voice boomed through the chamber speakers. He said, "Attention, attention. We are opening the chamber to test the microphones. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor with your hands behind your head. Comply, and you will be given a hot meal. Refuse, and you will be shot." They wait. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. The tension in the observation room is unbearable. The guards grip their rifles. Then a sound. Not a scream. Not a growl. A voice. Calm. Lucid. Almost polite. The voice from inside said, "We no longer want to be freed." Aronov freezes. He looks at Vlasov and asked, "Did you hear that?" Dr. Aronov said into the mic with a trembling voice, "Repeat. Repeat your statement." The voice from inside said, "We no longer want to be freed. The outside is cold. The gas is warm. Leave us." Dr. Aronov asked, "Who is this? Identify yourself." The voice replied, "I was Alexei. I was a teacher. Now, I am awake. It is Subject 1, the professor." But the voice doesn't sound like an old man anymore. It sounds strong, youthful, terrifying. General Vlasov said to Dr. Arnold, "Ask him about the others. Ask him if they are alive." Dr. Aronov asked, "Subject 1, status of the other subjects?" The voice replied, "They are evolving. We are learning so much, Doctor. We have opened the books. The real books." A pause. A wet, slurping sound. "We have opened ourselves. We have opened ourselves." The phrase hangs in the air like poison. Vlasov makes a slashing motion across his throat. "Cut the feed." General Vlasov said, "That's it. Prepare the extraction team. I want Spetsnaz in there. Full hazmat gear, tranked darts, and live rounds." Dr. Aronov said, "General, if we open that door, the gas escapes. We expose the facility." General Vlasov said, "Flush the system. Replace the gas with fresh air. We're going in at 0600 hours on day 15. The order is given. The ventilation system reverses. The orange mist is sucked out. Fresh, sterile air is pumped in. And that is when the real horror begins. Because the subjects have spent 15 days breathing a chemical that keeps them awake. Their bodies have adapted to it. They need it. To take it away now is like taking water away from a fish. Flushing the system has began. The sound of the gas hissing out. And then, screaming from inside. 5 voices screaming in unison. The voice from inside screamed, "Put it back. Turn it back on. We are suffocating. The air burns." They aren't relieved to have fresh air. They are in agony. They beg. They plead. They scream for the gas like a junkie screams for a needle. "Don't let US sleep. Please. The shadows will catch US." General Vlasov said, "Ignore them. Soldiers, prepare to breach." Day 15. The door unlocks. It swings open slowly. The soldiers raise their weapons. They expect 5 emaciated, weak men. They expect to carry them out on stretchers. They were wrong. The door of the chamber opened fully in a gust of wind, and the smell rushed. Soldier 1 started coughing and said, "Oh God, the smell. It smells like a slaughterhouse." The smell of blood, feces, and rotting meat hits them like a physical blow. The lights flicker on inside the chamber, and the soldiers see what is waiting for them in the dark. Soldier 2 said, "Contact. Contact. Jesus Christ, what are those things? They are not men anymore. They are anatomy diagrams that come." The blast door is open. The Spetsnaz team, 5 hardened killers who have seen the worst of the Eastern Front, stand at the threshold. They are freezing, not from the cold, from the sight before them. The chamber is awash in red. The floor is slick with 4 inches of water, or so they think, until the flashlight beam hits it. It isn't water. It is blood, mixed with water from the overflowed toilet. And in the center of the room, the subjects. Soldier 1 said, "Command, visual contact. We have 4 survivors. Subject 2 is deceased. Subject 2, Lucas, is dead, but his body is not intact. Most of the flesh on his ribs and thighs has been stripped away, not cut, torn, with teeth. His bones lie in a pile in the corner. And the other 4 are eating him. They look up from their meal. Their eyes are wide, unblinking, glowing in the flashlight beams. But it is their bodies that make the soldiers scream. They have torn off their own skin. Large strips of flesh hang from their chests, exposing the rib cages. You can see the lungs inflating and deflating with every breath. You can see the heart beating frantically against the bone. Their abdominal organs, the stomach, the intestines, are spilling out, hanging down past their waists. But they aren't dying. They're standing, and they're smiling. Subject 1, Alexei, said with a voice, wet gargle. You let the gas out. Why? We were so close. General Vlasov ordered the soldiers, over radio, secure them, get them to the infirmary, use force if necessary. The soldier leader commended his soldiers. Move in, grab them, don't touch the exposed organs. The soldiers move forward. They're trained to fight men. They're trained to fight bears. But they're not trained to fight this. Subject 4, Vasily the thief, launches himself at the lead soldier. He moves with impossible speed, like a spider. He lands on the soldier's chest. The soldier leader shouted, "Get him off! Get him off!" Vasily doesn't punch. He bites. He clamps his jaws onto the soldier's throat. He rips through the heavy hazmat suit like it is wet paper. Blood sprays into the air, mixing with the orange haze that still lingers near the ceiling. Soldier 3 shouted, "Shoot him! Shoot him!" Bullets impact Vasily's body. They tear through his exposed muscle. They shatter his shoulder. But he doesn't stop. He doesn't even flinch. The gas has eliminated his ability to feel pain. He laughs as the bullets hit him. Subject 4, Vasily, said like a maniac, "More! Give me more!" Another soldier tries to grab Subject 3, the mute journalist. The soldier grabs his arm, but the skin is so loose, so damaged that it simply slides off. The soldier is left holding a sleeve of human flesh. The mute looks at his bare, red muscle, and he shrieks. It is a brawl in hell. The soldiers are slipping in the blood. They're terrified. One soldier, a young private named Sergei, is cornered by Subject 1. Alexei smiles at him. His lips are gone. It is just a skull grinning. Subject 1 said, "Do you sleep, little soldier? Do you dream? We can show you how to stop." Soldier Sergei shouted, "Get back! Stay back!" Sergei fires his pistol. Point blank. The bullet hits Alexei in the chest. It pierces the lung. You can hear the air hissing out of the hole in his chest. But Alexei just keeps coming. He grabs Sergei's rifle. With skeletal hands, he bends the barrel. He possesses the strength of a manic adrenaline overdose. His muscles are tearing themselves apart with the effort, snapping his own bones, but he doesn't care. General Vlasov ordered over the radio, "Pull them out. Now, drag them out by their hair if you have to." It takes all 5 soldiers to subdue one subject. They beat them with rifle butts. They kick them. Finally, they manage to drag 3 of them into the hallway. Vasily is left behind, bleeding out from 20 gunshot wounds, still laughing as he drowns in his own fluids. The subjects shouted in unison, "The gas! Give US the gas! We will sleep if you don't give US the gas! We will sleep" is their greatest threat. They believe if they fall asleep now, they will die. And, judging by the state, the medical bay of Facility 9 is designed for treating frostbite and broken bones. It is not designed for this. 3 gurneys are lined up. Strapped down with heavy leather restraints are the survivors. Subject 1, Alexei, Subject 3, Dmitri, and Subject 5, the mute. Subject 4, Vasily, didn't make it. He bled out in the hallway, laughing until his heart exploded. Dr. Aronov stands over Subject 1. He is wearing a surgical mask, but does nothing to block the smell of raw meat. Surgeon, Dr. Petrov, said with a trembling voice, I don't know where to begin, Aronov. Look at this." The surgeon points a gloved hand at Alexei's chest. The skin is gone, but it wasn't cut away with a knife. The edges are jagged, irregular, and the muscle tissue, it isn't just torn, it's missing. Chunks of the pectorals, the biceps, the thighs. Dr. Aronov said, "The food rations, they were untouched. We checked the chamber." Surgeons said, "Exactly. They didn't eat the dry meat, Aronov. They ate this. The realization hits the room like a physical blow. The blockage in the drain, the water on the floor, the nutrients that kept them alive for 15 days. It was them. They were auto-cannibalizing. They were eating their own flesh to sustain the heightened metabolism caused by the gas. They were a perpetual motion machine of horror. Subject 1 said, "Doctor, look at me. Am I not beautiful?" Dr. Aronov ordered, "Sedate him. He's tearing his stitches." Alexei is thrashing, but not in pain. Enjoy. Every time he moves, the exposed muscles slide against each other. You can hear the wet friction, but his vitals? They're impossible. His blood pressure is 200 over 150. His heart rate is 180. By all medical science, he should be dead. He should have bled out hours ago. Surgeons said, "The blood, it's not coagulating normally. It's thick, like sludge. It's the only reason he's not dead." Dr. Aronov said, "We need to operate. We need to close the abdominal cavity before sepsis sets in." Nurse, prepare the morphine. Narrator. The nurse approaches Subject 1 with the needle. Alexei's eyes widen. It is the first time he looks truly afraid. Subject 1 screamed, "And no needle, no sleep." He pulls against the restraints. The leather bites into his exposed wrist bones. He snaps the radius bone in his left arm. Crack. He doesn't even scream. He just keeps pulling. He is terrified that if the morphine knocks him out, the awakening will end. Surgeon shouted, "Hold him down. Inject him." They inject 50 milligrams of morphine, enough to kill a horse. They wait for his eyes to close. They wait for the heart rate to drop. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. Alexei turns his head. He looks at the surgeon, and he smiles. He says, "Is that all?" The drug does nothing. The gas has rewritten his neurochemistry. His receptors simply burn through the sedative. The surgeon steps back, horrified. He burns it off instantly. "I can't put him down," Dr. Aronov said to the surgeon, "then operate without it." The surgeon said, "Are you insane? He will die of shock." Subject 1 said, "Cut me. Please. Open me up. I want to see. I want to see." The surgeon looks at Aronov. Aronov nods. "Do it." The surgery begins. Without anesthesia, the surgeon cuts into the abdominal wall to put the intestines back in place. Most patients would scream. They would pass out. Alexei watches. He cranes his neck to look down at his own open cavity. He is fascinated. Subject 1 whispered, "The liver. It is processing the poison. Good, good." The spleen is black. That is where the sleep hides. The nurse, standing by the tray, turns pale. She has seen soldiers with their legs blown off. She has seen frostbite victims. But this, a man narrating his own vivisection? She drops the tray. She runs out. She will never return to Facility 9. But the surgery continues. For 6 hours. The other two subjects, the journalist and the mute, are watching from their gurneys. They are jealous. They want to be next. General Vlasov enters. He looks at the bloody scene. He is not disgusted. He is impressed. He walks over to Subject 3, the mute. The mute is humming again. That low, vibrating throat song. General Vlasov asked, "This one, the quiet one, is he fit for duty?" Dr. Aronov replied, "Duty? General, look at him. He has no skin on his legs. He has eaten his own fingers." General Vlasov said, "But is he awake?" Dr. Aronov said, "Yes, he is awake. He will never sleep again." General Vlasov said, "Good. Then the experiment is a success." Aronov stares at the general. "Success? This is madness. We have created monsters." General Vlasov said, "No, doctor. We have created gods. Imagine a soldier who feels no pain, who laughs at bullets, who does not need food, only the flesh of his enemies. Patch them up. Stitch them closed. We are sending them to Moscow." But the subjects have other plans. Subject 3 stops humming. He looks at the general. His vocal cords are gone. Remember? He cannot speak. But he smiles. And then, he starts to chew. He isn't chewing food. He is bitten through his own tongue. He spits a chunk of blood and muscle onto the general's pristine uniform. General Vlasov disgustedly said, "You filth." Vlasov draws his service pistol, a Tokarev TT-33. He points it at Subject 3's head. Dr. Aronov said, "General, no. We need the data." General Vlasov said with anger, "The data is flawed." The bullet enters between the eyes. Subject 3 jerks back. His head hits the pillow. The heart monitor goes flat. But then, the beep stops, and a gargle comes from the corpse. Subject 3 whisperingly said, "So, nearly free. Even in death, the gas lingers." The brain refuses to shut down until the very last neuron has fired. Vlasov stares at the body. He is shaken. He turns to the remaining two. Subject 1, Alexei, and Subject 5, the mute. General Vlasov said, "These two, get them back in the chamber. Turn the gas back on. I want to see what happens when they finish." The order is absolute. Put them back. General Vlasov wants his monsters back in the cage. He wants the gas turned back on. He believes he can save the experiment. Dr. Aronov pushes the gurney carrying Subject 1, Alexei, the professor. Alexei is strapped down, his abdominal cavity stapled shut with crude, hasty sutures. He is looking up at the ceiling lights, his eyes darting frantically. Subject 1, Alexei, desperate and raspingly said, "Faster. Doctor, the darkness is coming, the eyelids are heavy." Dr. Aronov said, "Stay with us. Subject 1, we are almost at the chamber." They race down the corridor. The air here is clean. Too clean. For Alexei, every breath of fresh oxygen is poison. His brain is misfiring. Without the gas to prop up his nervous system, the exhaustion of 15 days is hitting him all at once. A tidal wave of sleep. Subject 1 said, "Don't let me close them. Take them open, please." He is trashing against the leather straps. He snaps the ulna bone in his right arm. Crack. He doesn't care. He is fighting gravity. He is fighting biology. Soldiers said, "Clear the way. Get the door open." They wheel him into the chamber. It still smells of the massacre. The blood is still on the floor. They lift him off the gurney and dump him onto one of the cots. He tries to sit up, but his muscles fail. He collapses back. Subject 1 asks, "The gas. Where's the gas?" Dr. Aronov ordered through his radio, "Control. Open the valves. Flood the room. Now." After that, the hissing sound returns. The vents are opened. A high-pressure orange gas is released in the chambers. The orange mist begins to swirl from the ceiling vents. Alexei sees it. He opens his mouth, trying to swallow the air. But it is too late. His eyes flutter. The heavy lids drop. "No," he whispers. Subject 1 slowly, fadingly said, "See them." His eyes close. And the moment they shut, the machine stops. His heart simply gives up. It explodes. Dr. Aronov said, "He's gone. Cardiac arrest." General Vlasov, standing in the doorway, said, "Useless. Weak." He pointed to the second gurney and ordered, "Bring in the last one." The mute. He is stronger. Subject 5. The mute. He is wheeled in. He doesn't fight. He doesn't scream. He is lying perfectly still on the gurney. His eyes are wide open. They are no longer brown. They are black. The pupils have swallowed the irises completely. They unstrap him. He stands up, smoothly, like a dancer. He ignores the dead body of Alexei on the cot next to him. He walks to the center of the room and stands directly under the vent. He bathes in the gas. He looks at Dr. Aronov. Aronov is standing by the door, ready to run. The mute smiles, and then he points, not at Aronov, but behind Aronov, at the shadow cast by the door frame. Dr. Aronov asks, "What? What is it?" Aronov looks back. There is nothing there. But when he looks back at the mute is nodding, as if confirming a secret. Dr. Aronov said, "General, we can't leave him in there alone. Look at him. He's not human anymore." General Vlasov replied, "That is why we are locking him in. I want to know what he becomes when he is alone." After this, the soldiers grabbed Dr. Aronov and dragged him out. During this, Dr. Aronov said, "No, you don't understand. He's communicating with something. The EEG readings, the signals weren't coming from his brain. They were coming to it." The general ignores him. "Seal it," he ordered. The heavy blast door slams shut again, and the bolts slid home. Subject 5 is alone. The chamber is sealed. The gas is at 100% concentration. Inside, the mute stands in the orange fog. He walks over to the dead body of Alexei. He sits down next to it, and he waits. Outside, in the observation room, the researchers watch the monitors. "Sir," the technician says, "look at the oxygen levels." General Vlasov asked, "What about them?" Technician replied, "They are dropping rapidly, but Subject 5 isn't moving." Aronov looks at the screen. Subject 5 is sitting still. He is breathing shallowly. "So where's the oxygen going?" Dr. Aronov whispered. "He's not alone in there." The gas swirls in the corner of the room. It begins to take shape. A shadow, a silhouette, standing right next to the mute. The experiment has opened a door, and something has walked through. Hour 18 of the second lockdown. Subject 5 has been alone in the chamber with the corpse of Alexei and the high-concentration gas. He hasn't moved. He sits in the lotus position, staring at the mirrored glass. Staring at us. In the observation room, the air is thick. Dr. Aronov is pacing. He is sweating. He keeps rubbing his nose, wiping away a thin trickle of blood. Dr. Aronov muttered, the filters are compromised. Can you smell it?" Technician asked, "Smell what, doctor?" Dr. Aronov said, "Citrus. Rust. It's leaking. The gas is leaking into the observation deck." General Vlasov said, "Sit down, Aronov. The seals are perfect. You are imagining things." Aronov slams his hand on the console. Dr. Aronov said, "Am I? Look at the monitor. Look at the shadow." Aronov points to the grainy black and white screen. Subject 5 is sitting there. But behind him, in the corner, there's a dark patch. It isn't a shadow cast by the furniture. It is standing upright. It has shoulders. General Vlasov said, "It's a glitch, a burn-in on the camera tube." Dr. Aronov said, "It moved. I saw it move." It whispered to him. The general walks over to the console. He leans in close to the microphone. He presses the button. General Vlasov asked, "Subject 5, can you hear me?" Silence from the chamber. Then a giggle. High-pitched, childlike. It isn't the mute's voice. The mute has no tongue. This sound is coming from elsewhere. General Vlasov asked, "Who is with you in the room?" Subject 5 slowly raises his head. His eyes are pitch-black pools. He lifts a hand. His fingers are raw, boneless, ruined things. And he points at the glass again. He points at Vlasov. Then, for the first time since the surgery, he makes a sound with his throat. He clicks his teeth together. Click, click, click. It's Morse code. Technician said, "He's signaling." General Vlasov said, "Translated." The clicking continues. Fast, urgent. Technician typing furiously. Dash, dot, dash. It says, "I am the key to..." Dr. Aronov asked, "The key to what?" Technician said, "Wait, there's more. Open the door, or he will come through the wall." A sudden, loud crack in the observation room glass. Aronov screams. A spiderweb fracture appears on the thick, bulletproof glass separating them from the chamber. It wasn't hit by a bullet. It wasn't hit by a fist. It cracked from the inside pressure, or from a frequency. Dr. Aronov said, "He's breaking the containment. We have to evacuate. Flood the room with nitrogen. Kill him." General Vlasov drawing his pistol and said, "No, no one kills the subject. He is the pinnacle of Soviet science." Dr. Aronov said, "He is not science. He's a demon. Look at him." Subject 5 stands up. He walks to the cracked glass. He presses his face against it. His skin is gray. His veins are black. He smiles, and his jaw unhinges, opening far too wide. General Vlasov ordered, "Technician, unlock the door." Dr. Aronov screamed, "What? Are you insane?" General Vlasov said, "He wants to show us something." "I'm going in." Dr. Aronov said to the general, "You cannot go in there. You will die like the others." General Vlasov said, "I am a general of the Red Army. I do not fear a lab rat, and ordered the technician to open the chamber, or he will shoot him where he sits. The technician is shaking. He looks at Aronov. He looks at the gun. He reaches for the lever. Dr. Aronov shouted, "Don't do it. I'm warning you." Vlasov fires. Not at the technician. He shoots Dr. Aronov in the leg. Aronov falls, screaming. General Vlasov ordered, "Open the door." The blast door begins to slide open. The orange gas spills out into the hallway, swirling around Vlasov's boots. He puts a handkerchief over his mouth. He holds his pistol high. He steps into the mist. General Vlasov said, "Subject 5, stand down." The mute is waiting. He isn't attacking. He is standing over the corpse of Alexei. He looks at the general, and in his mind, Vlasov hears a voice. Not a sound, a thought, clear as a bell. A telepathic voice asked, "Have you come to join the sleep?" The observation room is chaotic. Dr. Aronov is on the floor, groaning in pain, clutching his bleeding leg. The technician is cowering under the desk. The alarm is blaring. But inside the chamber, it is dead silent. General Vlasov stands inside the chamber. The door has sealed behind him. He ordered it. "Lock me in," he said. "I want to look it in the eye." The air is thick with the orange mist. It tastes metallic. Vlasov feels the buzz immediately, the chemically induced alertness. His heart starts a hammer against his ribs. Subject 5 stands 10 feet away. He is naked. His skin is a roadmap of self-inflicted surgery. He is calm. General Vlasov, with his gun raised, asked in a steady voice, "Do you possess telepathy? Or is this a hallucination caused by the gas?" Subject 5 tilts his head. He doesn't speak with his mouth. The sound simply arrives in Vlasov's brain. Subject 5 said with his telepathic powers, "Gas, drug, words. They're small things. We are beyond them now." General Vlasov said, "You are a weapon, a Soviet weapon, and you will obey." Subject 5 laughs. It is a wet, hacking sound from his ruined throat. He takes a step forward. Vlasov fires. Bang! The bullet hits Subject 5 in the shoulder. The impact spins him around. He doesn't fall. He doesn't bleed. No, he bleeds dust. Dried black powder. General Vlasov said, "What are you?" Subject 5 turns back. The bullet hole is already closing, the flesh knitting together like wax. Subject 5 said with his telepathic powers, "We are the silence between your heartbeats." General Vlasov fried again and said with frustration, "Die? Why won't you die?" The bullets hit the chest, the stomach. Subject 5 keeps walking. He reaches out a hand. Vlasov backs up, but hits the wall. He is trapped. Subject 5 places a hand on Vlasov's chest. The general gasps. He feels cold. Absolute zero cold radiating from the creature's touch. Subject 5 said with his telepathic powers, "We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind." Vlasov's eyes widened. He tries to pull the trigger again, but his finger is frozen. Paralyzed. Subject 5 said with his telepathic powers, "We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go to the nocturnal haven where we cannot tread." General Vlasov said, "You are nothing. You are a mistake." Subject 5 said with his telepathic powers, "No, we are the truth. Sleep is a lie. Sleep is a mask you wear to pretend you are not monsters. But the mask is off now, General. Look at me." Vlasov looks. He looks into the black eyes of the creature, and he sees it. He sees the endless, screaming void of a mind that has not slept for 15 days. He sees the infinite chaos that exists just below the surface of consciousness. General Vlasov screamed, "Get out of my head." Vlasov breaks the paralysis. He pistol whips the creature across the face. Subject 5 stumbles back. Vlasov scrambles for the door panel. He hits the intercom button. General Vlasov ordered, "Aronov, open the door. Flood it. Kill it all." Aronov's voice comes through, weak and pained. I can't let it out, General. You said it yourself." General Vlasov said, "I order you. Open it." Dr. Aronov said, "No. The gas, it must be contained. Vlasov turns around. Subject 5 is standing right behind him. The creature smiles. And then he speaks aloud. For the first time since his tongue was bitten off. A miracle of biology. Or a curse. Subject 5 asked loudly in a raspy, broken tone, "General, have you forgotten how to sleep?" The creature lunges. Vlasov raises the gun to his own temple. He realizes the truth. There's only one way to escape the chamber. There's only one way to sleep. General Vlasov prayed, "May God have mercy." The general falls. Subject 5 stands over him. He looks up at the mirror. At Aronov. He waves. He smiles and says, "Your turn, doctor." The alarm has stopped. The facility is eerily quiet. Just the hum of the cooling fans and the drip, drip, drip of blood onto the floor. The observation glass is spiderwebbed with cracks. General Vlasov is dead. Subject 1, 2, 3, and 4 are dead. Only 2 hearts are still beating in the depths of Facility 9. One belongs to Dr. Aronov, bleeding out on the floor of the observation deck. The other belongs to Subject 5, the thing that was once a man. Subject 5 stands over the general's body inside the chamber. He looks up at Aronov through the shattered glass. He presses his hand against the spiderweb fracture. He pushes. The bulletproof glass, weakened by the sonic pressure and the gunfire, begins to give way. Aronov drags himself across the floor. His leg is shattered. He leaves a smear of red behind him. He reaches for the console, not the door release. The purge. Dr. Aronov, wheezing in pain, asks the technician to give him the key. The technician is curled in a ball under the desk, rocking back and forth. "We're going to die," he whimpers. "It's going to eat us." Dr. Aronov said, "The key for the incinerator protocol." The technician doesn't move. Aronov curses. He crawls to the guard's dropped rifle, an AK-47. He is not a soldier. He's a man of science. But tonight, science has failed him. He props the heavy rifle on the console desk. He aims it at the glass. The glass shatters completely. Shards rain down. Subject 5 steps through the broken window. He enters the observation deck. He is naked, gray, skeletal. He smells of copper and ozone. He looms over Aronov. Subject 5 said with his raspy, weak voice, "Doctor, do you want to know the secret?" Aronov's finger tightens on the trigger. "Go to hell," he said. "We are already there." "Look," said the mute. Subject 5 gestures to the room, to the bodies, to the blood. "This is the world without sleep. Pure, unfiltered. Join us," he said to the doctor. Aronov holds the trigger down. The bullets tear into Subject 5 at point-blank range. The chest explodes. The neck is severed. The creature is thrown back against the console. Sparks fly. It slides down to the floor. A heap of ruined flesh. The gun clicks empty. Silence returns. Aronov drops the gun. He is panting. He watches the body, waiting for it to rise, waiting for the wounds to close. But the heart is gone. The brain stem is severed. Subject 5 does not move. But then a whisper. One last breath escaping the ruined lungs. "So, nearly free," said Subject 5 in a fading-out tone. "It is over." The silence is heavy. It presses down on Aronov's chest. He looks at the technician. The man has stopped rocking. He is staring at the wall. Catatonic. Aronov drags himself to the microphone. He hits the record button. The reel-to-reel tape begins to spin. Dr. Aronov records himself. Log entry final. The experiment is concluded. All subjects are terminated. General Vlasov is dead. The gas is not a stimulant. It is a key. It unlocks the door to a part of the brain that should never be visited. We thought sleep was a waste of time. We were wrong. Sleep is a cage, and we're the beasts inside it. Aronov coughs. Blood splatters the microphone. He looks at the ventilation duct in the corner of the room. He sees the orange residue on the grate. The leak. It was real. Dr. Aronov continues to record. I've been exposed. I can feel it. The buzzing. My mind. It's racing. I remember the date of my 3rd birthday. I remember the smell of my mother's milk. It's starting. The doctor hears the distant sound of helicopters, heavy boots running down the corridor outside. The retrieval team, the KGB, they are coming to clean up the mess. They will find the bodies. They will burn the tapes. They will fill the bunker with concrete. Facility 9 will be erased from history. But Aronov knows the truth. You can erase the files, but you cannot erase the idea. He looks at the gun. Empty. He looks at the scalpel on the medical tray. Dr. Aronov continues. They will want to study me. They will want to know what I saw. But I cannot let them. I cannot sleep. If I sleep, I will see them. Then the door to the observation room is kicked open. KGB officers shouting in Russian. Hands in the air. Step away from the console. Aronov looks at the soldiers. He smiles. A wide, manic smile. His eyes are wide. He hasn't blinked in an hour. Dr. Aronov said, "Do not worry, comrades. I am awake." Then a sudden, sharp intake of breath. The sound of the scalpel slicing. A body thumping to the floor. The last person alive is gone too. August 28th, 1947. Facility 9 is sealed. The official report states that a generator malfunction caused a gas leak, killing all personnel. The bodies are buried in unmarked graves in the tundra. But sometimes, late at night, when the wind blows across the ice, the locals say you can hear it. Not the wind, but humming. A low, vibrating throat song from beneath the earth. They say the gas is heavy. They say it sinks. And down there, in the dark, something is still awake. Thanks for watching. This was the full story about the Russian sleep experiment. Did you like it? Do let us know in the comment section. If you like the story, please do hit the like button and share it with your friends and family. Also hit the subscribe button to get future updates. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye. Take care.